Hi, and welcome to Anmaree's Workshop. My name is Anne-Marie, and I love to make things with joy. If you like to make things with joy, you have found the right place. Please like, subscribe, and share. No, you're not lost. This is my soaping studio. You are not in Anmaree's Workshop. There's no sewing machines here. There are no pieces of fabric. There's no patterns or anything, but this happens to be my studio where I make soap. I love to make soap. If soap is not your thing, you can turn away right now. I will not be offended. And you can catch me tomorrow, the next day. I'll be sewing something as usual, or I'll be live streaming on Instagram in the morning at Anmaree's Workshop. All right, so if you're interested in making soap, then come along. I have been haunted for like the past few months to make a cashmere chocolate amber soap. I have used up a lot of my soap, given away a lot of my soap, and it is very dry in Jamaica right now. So I think it's an ideal time for me to make some soap. So please come along. Now, as much as I love to make soap does not like to play. You're dealing with live chemical, which can burn. So you have to have some really good gloves. Cover your body, be responsible, cover your body. No kids, no pets, nobody around to get splashed with any lye, water, or soap before saponification solution. So I'm gonna put all my stuff on and I'll be right back with you. So if you think you might be into this hobby, there are some things you're going to need. I got my start by watching Katie over on Royalty Soaps. I had seen some other soap making videos, but she's the one who really inspired me to get into the hobby. I think she was all of 17 years old. I think right now Royalty Soap is one of the biggest online soap companies on YouTube. Anyway, so there are certain things you have to have. Now, gloves, outfits, protective eye gear, a submersible blender, various containers. I get mine from the Dollar Tree. I think you can get a box. They're $1 a piece. You can order them online if you'd like. Now the tips and things that I will show you later, I ordered from the startup kit from Royalty Soaps. Beautiful kit, gives you a set of colors to start with. It's wonderful. And then a lot of things just get pressed into service, like an old sand bucket and things like that. Now, here's the thing. Once you use these things for soap, they're for making soap. Please do not have them go back into your regular kitchenware. So, I personally, most of my things are in red to let me know those are soap making things. All right, so first things first. I got my soap making recipe from Katie. She gives away the recipe, she doesn't guard it. And so this soap, which is really rich and really lovely, contains olive oil, coconut oil, palm oil, castor oil, and sweet almond oil. Now the frosting, which you'll see what I'm making later, the frosting contains coconut oil, olive oil, palm oil, canola oil, and castor oil. All right, so this is a perfect time of the year for me to soak. There's not a lot of humidity. Now, those of you who are in colder climates, sometimes you have to worry about something called gray ash because of the temperature of the room. But I like to soak at room temperature. Room temperature for me may be warmer than room temperature for you. You can soap hot, you can soap cold. That requires more of an investment of time for you to read up upon soap making. I'm soaping at room level, but this is Jamaica, so it's probably 80 degrees in here. Matter of fact, I'm getting quite warm, so let's go ahead and we can go ahead and get started. Now I'm going to add my lye water mixture, which is part lye, part water, and to my oils. Now, when you mix your lye water, you are never going to add water to your powdered lye. It's always the opposite way. You have your water and then you add your lye to it. Okay, so I'm going to add it in, emulsify it for about 2 minutes. Then I'm going to pour some off and make some colors. Now, my chocolate amber oil that gives it the wonderful scent also turns it brownish. Okay, so that is not the oil you would use if you were looking to do one of those soaps that had lots of super bright colors in them. So this one I know is going to be, I'm going to add some titanium oxide to whiten it a bit, but I know it's going to look creamy and everything, but it's going to turn tan or brown, which is okay. It's a chocolate-based soap. All right, so let's get going. Now, sometimes, make sure you're careful with your immersing. Uh-oh, phone call, sorry. Yeah, that was another no-no. Don't take phone calls. I had to take a phone call because my daughters are in Australia. And so, as it emulsifies, it goes from clear to creamy. And it gets thick. I'm going to add some fragrance. Now, depending upon the fragrance, you have to hurry along. That's why you can't take phone calls. Because soap wants to be soap. Now I'm going to pour off a little. Because I want to put some colors in my soap. Maybe they'll show up. Purple. And pink. All right. Now you're going to want to clean up as you go along. You have to be careful. All right. So now I'm going to blend. Hi, Uncle Nez.
You have the key?
Yes, I do. I'm sorry, Uncle Nez. I'm in the middle of making this soap. The key is on the in the front hallway on top of the
And then where?
On the front hallway near the kitchen with the tray with the bowl with all the keys.
Oh, you mean in the kitchen?
Yeah, ask Stacy. Ask her where we keep our keys. What are the chances? About 100%. That's how it is. All right, so I'm gonna wash that off because, be careful, it's plugged in, because I'm gonna add the titanium too, because I want the soap to be whiter. Okay. All right, it's nice and loose. Now, here's something that can happen to you. Depending upon the combination of fragrance, color, your soap can seize. Which, in other words, it can go ahead and want to be soap really quick before you're ready for it to become soap. So I am not ready for mine to become soap yet. I want to add some stuff to it, okay? So let me take and I'm gonna get my soap molds. Here they are. I think I got mine from Brambleberry. It was a long time ago, but you end up with, I think you can get about 27 bars out of each tray. All right, now, let me go ahead and I'm gonna pour a little in. A little in. All right, and I'm gonna add a little pink because I'm doing a drop swirl. All right, a little purple. It's really soupy, so hopefully you're gonna get a really great design, but I'm not exactly sure what I'm gonna get because the color, the fragrance is gonna darken it. So now I'm gonna add another layer. Of soap. All right, now I'm gonna really scrape my container afterwards. I'm gonna add some more color. I'm gonna drop some purple. Drop some purple. And then I'm gonna drop some pink. Whoop. Okay, so now, this is where you do a lot of scraping because, you know, not only do you wanna make more soap, but you also don't wanna have to clean up. All of this is gonna harden and become soap. So I'm sure you would rather have soap than have to clean up soap. All right, so Katie always says, scrapey, scrapey, her containy. And I understand what she means now. The more you scrape, the less you have. So you can kind of see why you can't really do this if you've got kids or pets underfoot. Because this liquid, while it's beautiful colors and it's wonderful, it's dangerous when it touches skin. So if anything should happen, flush with water, you know, beware of the eyes. Okay, and I think there's some more I can scrape out of here because I would rather make soap than clean containers. I'm gonna scrape really a whole lot. And get it in here. All right, that's a lot, but I want to make sure I get most of it in here. All right, and believe it or not, it is already starting to harden, and that's a good thing. Okay, so now I'm going to fill these containers with water so they'll be easier to clean up when I do the next one. All right, if we were just stopping here, we could make a lovely swirl on top of our soap and be happy with that. But I'm not stopping here. I'm going to add a frosting on top and some embeds, and I'll show you what those look like. I'm gonna put my gloves back on, and let's get to work on the second part of this soap. All right, so now the frosting recipe, what I'm going to pipe onto the top of this soap is made with a slightly different recipe. It includes canola oil, and the canola oil makes a softer mix. So these oils have already been prepped, and I have lye water to go along with this. So, let me get this. All right, so here we're gonna go again. I'm going to add this to my, so remember, you cannot use this for anything else than soap now. It is just a soap blender. Okay. Going to drop in my lye water into my oils. .16.5. 16.5 ounces. And then remember, okay, it was clear. It is going to become cloudy. Now, this is what happens to me sometimes. I'm so excited about working on something, I forget the fragrance oil, but not this time. Not this time. Well, I feel like, you know what? I might add a little purple. Let's see. Seems like I have a little time. It is not freezing up right away. So I'm going to add a little purple, and we'll see. It's purple. It's purple. Ooh, that's beautiful. It's almost like pudding. I'm gonna let it set a little bit. Now, you watched me make that other soap, and you didn't see me touch my face or get into any kind of trouble with my mix, but I feel a little burning sensation near my lip. So maybe there was a little splash that I didn't feel. Maybe there was a little splash that I didn't feel, but it happened. So I'm going to flush it with water, and because I know what it feels like when I get a little of this mixture on my face. This is why you cannot have, that's why you cannot have animals. You can't have animals or anything like that nearby, right? Because I didn't feel that happen, but I feel a little spot, a little burn on my face. And it could be just a nervous habit of touching my face or something like that. But I'm prepared. I know the feeling. I don't have to get a full-on burn before I understand. Okay, so now I'm going to leave all those things to soak. I'm waiting for this to, oh, it's already pudding up. Okay, so let's go. All right, so now I'm going to scoop it into my pastry bag. Now this pastry bag, I am only using, let me show it to you. I'm only using this pastry bag for soap. See how thick it's become? So it's a different recipe slightly, but it still makes soap. Okay, so now I'm gonna get a move on, because you don't want this becoming soap before you're ready. Okay. Oh, but this is good. It didn't take much for it to saponify and get ready to become soap. It's kind of a cool chemical reaction. I wish they had done this in school. I would have been hooked. I would have been starting my cosmetics firm. Okay, now okay, all right, so now you're like, what are you gonna do with that, Anne? You'll see. Okay, quite a bit. So okay, I am going to add these little rosettes to the top of my soap. Now I can feel the heat in the bag, so I'm going to move along before this becomes all out soap and I can't get any to squeeze out. And believe it or not, sometimes it's a race against time So I'm hoping I will end up with all of my soap done. So I'm gonna at least try and get the first layer. I would like to get the second and the third layer before I run into any kind of problems. But I have not made soap in a long time, and every time I go back, you know how it is if you haven't sewn in a long time. It's like, it's not like you're starting all over, but you're not as masterful as you normally are. So I have not, I used to soap regularly, but I didn't this time. Let me do a layer on this one too. I'm glad I did the purple though. I like it. Okay, one thing I'm doing is sweating here in Jamaica because room temperature is room temperature here. Now I'm doing these in a row because when I slice my soap, I'd like all of my soap to get an equal amount of topping. Now I know this is not our usual sewing gig, but I enjoy sew making so much. I thought I'd share it with you all. I haven't done it in a long time. I think I did a blog post where I did some, and I thought I was going to be soaping with Sarah, but guys, we just ran out of time. Okay, soap's still going. Okay, yay. I've got the first layer on. Yay, I feel really, really good about that. Now we can see if we can get a second layer on before we run, before this gets hard. Because I don't want to clean up. I want to use everything I made. Oh boy. So I'm gonna scrape down, see if I can get a second layer on the other one too. Or maybe get halfway down before I run out of mixture. Well, maybe not halfway down. Maybe a third of the way down. But that's okay. Still plenty. Oh, that is it. Oh, let's see, do I have any more? Nope, that is it. Okay, so now I'm going to...
Anmaree.
Yes, Uncle Nez.
On any time you can take it for a drive.
I am. As soon as I finish,
Eh?
as soon as I finish this, I'm going to take it for a drive to see how it
Well, you
goes.
have to, but you have it around the block
Yeah,
and then see how it feel,
yeah.
and then you're
Hey,
good.
thank you so much.
You want
Washer?
no, you want power steering fuel.
That's what I went looking for.
Eh?
That's what I went looking for. You asked me to get
That's
two
pretty
things.
low. It's all the way down like
Okay.
so you have You know where you have the little round thing there?
At the top,
At
the
top.
back, yes. Like
One
on the
one little blue cap.
yes, yes.
That's where you throw it into.
Well, maybe I'll ride to the bottom of the hill.
Eh?
Maybe I'll ride to the bottom of the hill.
Which bottom?
You know, at Caledonia at the bottom where that
Oh yeah, yeah.
where the tire place is.
You can pick that up anytime. Any one of those. Even same place on Caledon Road there where they sell tires and.
Yeah,
and
that's what I mean. That's what, okay. So power
there you just pick up one. Power steering fluid.
power steering fluid.
Eh,
I will.
and you're ready to go.
Yeah.
All right. And check it out.
Yes.
Eh.
Uncle Nez, I'll be bringing you some soap.
Eh?
I'll be bringing you some soap.
What kind of soap you making?
I make this is kind of a woman's soap, but I make men's soap too. Like
Okay.
body soap. Yeah.
Oh, body soap.
Yeah. It's just
Okay.
that it's time. Like if you don't
You
finish
mean liquid soap
No, bar.
for bath?
Bath, yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
So like if you don't finish in time, it'll get hard.
Oh,
That's
okay.
why I was like, oh, I'm so sorry, Uncle Des, I can't come.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, you have to work it while it's soft. Right now it's hardening.
Okay,
You can feel the
okay.
heat coming off of it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
because it's live
Eh.
and stuff like that.
Amazing.
So.
All right, take care of yourself.
All right, sweetie, thank you so much.
Yeah, man, you're welcome.
All right, guys. All right, so I got that far. Let me see if I can turn my camera around, and I think I'm going to switch to disposable gloves. Hold on. Switch. Yes. In the car? All right, I'm about to come around there. As soon as I put this up, I'm going to come right around there. All right. Oh, dear. All right. I've got another glove. And I'm going to put little cherries on top. I'm gonna try, but I haven't had much luck with my hands if I don't use my hands. Now these are embeds, like molded soap, poured soap embeds that I made quite some time ago. So I am trying to use them up. They're just cute little soap embeds that you can add to your soap. So I am adding these little cherries. Oops. Okay. Little cherries that I'm adding. I have some orange slices too that I made a long time ago, but I don't think the color's not right. I'll save them for another thing. So let me see if I can get there, if I have enough. So let's see. I think I can. And then we're going to add some little fairy dust because we can. Or to quote Tab, it's my business. Okay. Now, when I was in my soap making bag and I was more instinctive, I would have doubled this recipe. No, I would have doubled and another half so that there was plenty of frosting for the top of the soap. I wouldn't be lacking frosting. Matter of fact, I'd have extra, extra, extra. But these cherries have been hanging around for a long time, and so they have a right to be on some soap. So I'm gonna put some on. Now I love soaping when it's dry because my glycerin, my melted soap embeds will sweat if it's very, very humid. And Jamaica is very, very humid. It's humid now, but not as much as when it's actively raining and monsooning. Okay, you asked for one by sticking up there. Okay, you too. And last one. Okay. All right. So now, I'm so upset because I have so much to scrape here, and I would rather not have to wash this out because it's gonna become hard soap. Nothing I can do about it. I don't have a right to put it in. Okay, so let's sprinkle some fairy dust. This is micro glitter. It is environmentally sound and responsible. Okay, and we can sprinkle a little of it from above and let it sprinkle down on our soap. Now, okay. Out of practice, y'all. I know how to do this. Oh my goodness. All right. And one more little over here. All right. Okay, so that is one level of glitter. And then I have a little a little frosting on the frosting. Ooh, that's good. All right, haven't done that in a long time. Really enjoyed it. Okay. All right, so this is what it looks like with a little glitter. And in a couple of days, 48 hours, I will unmold it and slice it so you can see what it looks like inside. Now I'm telling you right now, when I slice it, inside is going to be super pretty with all the pinks and the purples and everything. But do not fall in love with that because the fragrance, chocolate cashmere, is going to turn the soap brown. That's why it's going to change from that's why I did such a strong purple on the top. It's going to smell delicious. It's going to be wonderful. But chocolate tends to turn the soap brown. All right. Thank you for coming along. I hope you liked it. I hope if it talks to you, it is a little bit of an investment to get in it. I'm looking around this room. But if you love soap and bath bombs and things like that, it's a very nice hobby to get into. All right. Take care. See you at the sewing machine. Now, as I told you in the safety warnings, best laid plans. I decided to soap on a day when there were two helpers in the house and I would be free. And as you can see, there were no dogs or kids, but yet I got a phone call from Australia. My uncle stopped by twice because he was fixing my car. And on the way to check on something in the front, there was a cow wandering in front of my house. You can't make this stuff up. So, as I told you in my safety warnings, you can make your best plans, but you have to be able to bounce when things go wrong. First of all, I got a phone call in the middle of soaping, and soaping is a timed thing. You cannot wait because your soap is saponifying. It's trying to become soap. So when your oil hits your lye, it's trying to get hard. You want it to get hard. And so that is what happens. And all of a sudden, you have soap. So I got a phone call from Australia because my two girls are traveling through Australia. Had to take it for a few seconds. Then my uncle, who was so kindly working on my car, needed to find the keys. Then he came back to tell me that it needed power steering fluid. And then on my way out, there was a cow wandering in the front yard. Not my front yard, in the front of the street. You can't make this stuff up. Hi, okay, so this is the 24 hours later, and I have unmolded one of my soap bars. I wonder if I can get you to see it. Tilt it. There you go. There's one of the bars out of its form. Okay, let's keep this from falling down. All right, and so this is my cheese cutter. I use it when my bars have a large top, so my soap cutter will have an easier time of cutting my soaps. Okay, so I'm going to, let me see if I can get you to see my soap cutter. Okay. Wow. Smells delicious. Give me a little bit more space, maybe, and I can cut this into smaller blocks. so I can handle it. Looks like I can. Uh-oh. Good thing I have this cheese knife. And I can't remember who did this suggestion, but you know, when I got into this hobby of soap making, I dived deep, and there was so much on YouTube University about soap making, so it was really, really great for me. All right, so now I'm going to cut some pieces because my wire has popped. My makeshift wire has popped, and I'm going to have to use my cheese cutter to cut these pieces. Let's, and there you have it. No cows today. No interruptions. Just these beautiful pieces of soap, and now they will dry for 2 weeks to make sure the saponification is complete. Alrighty. Okay, so now that this soaping is complete with these beautiful bars of soap, I ended up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 16, 21, 27, which is usually how much I end up with, 27 bars. Now, some of these bars could have been slightly smaller if when I piped their frosting on the top, if I'd used a smaller piping tip, I could perhaps have made smaller bars. I would practice that in the future. But right now, they're really beautiful. I'm going to put them aside and let them dry for 2 weeks. And while they're drying, they will scent the apartment, and I will move on to another soap. But you know, I've got sewing to do in the morning. But I wanted to share this with you. It is a hobby I absolutely love. I got into it years ago when I was moving from my house where I raised my family to a smaller house closer to my job after my divorce, and I had to keep the house kind of immaculate so that it would show well. And I got into soap making, and I didn't have hardly any time. The house sold pretty fast. But I moved it to my other small house, and if you look in my videos, I think I have a playlist for soap making. You'll see all of the different soaps I've made over the years when I was having a good time. But thank you for coming along. I know this is not sewing, but I wanted to share it with you. And you take care until I see you again. Remember, I stream in the morning.